60 years ago, disciples stepped out on faith and created a church-wide foundation. They had big plans, big dreams. Just one little problem. They didn't have any money. And yet, they ventured out in faith. This year, the Christian Church Foundation celebrates its 60th birthday. But you know, it's not about us. The last 60 years is about what we as church have been able to do together. We want to highlight just some of the stories and some of the ministry that's happened as a result of our work together as a church.
When I felt called to ministry, I felt like I needed to help people develop and use their gifts, their God-given gifts. And at the Christian Church Foundation, that's exactly what we do.
Managing money in a way that's consistent with our faith and values is critical. It not only makes us unique, I think it's what makes us church.
It's not dollars that we have invested or they come from donors. They represent lives. When I see dollars, I see lives, I see donors, I see the potential for what those dollars will do in terms of bringing forth life and hope and the gospel that we preach.
Reverent care to me means that you bring the best of your capabilities to every gift. Our side of the equation is not about taking the gifts, it's about caring for them and stewarding them.
One of the things that I've appreciated about this ministry is the high level of commitment to excellence, attention to detail. Yet, it's always about what is best for donors and investors.
It's not about the Christian Church Foundation. It's about them and their call from God to do mission and ministry. And so we listen more than we talk. We help them discover what it is they want to do and then find ways to help them do that which they want to do and that which they feel called to do.
It's the expertise, a solid discipline that's been proven over time that we follow, and doing it in a way that's consistent with our faith and values. All of those are really key to not only being good stewards, but also being faithful people.
The thing that I am most proud of is the people I work with. To a person, every single person on our staff cares. The individuals that I work with genuinely care about the donors. They know the names of people who died 50 years ago, and they really care about their legacy.
And our reason for being is not to try to push as much as we can through the funnel. Our reason for being is to make distributions, to produce dollars for ministry. And so moving money to mission, that's what we do.
We'd like to highlight just a few of the stories of mission and ministry that results from our being together and our working together and our joining together in mission for the church. Together, we are making a difference.
Peace to you, everyone, from the great regions of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Northeastern. Congratulations on 60 years of ministry that truly has been helping disciples make a difference, Christian Church Foundation. The ways that the ministry of the foundation has touched the places where I've served is really immense, great, and life-giving. Been reflecting on my ministry as a local church pastor, where the foundation was able to come in and help us make better, more efficient, more effective use of capital funds that were able to help us produce monies for mission. And in the regions I serve, in West Virginia, such a great partner in terms of investing our monies for the long term, as well as providing a place for us to honor the saints in our All Saints funds, as well as working with congregations to shore up their financial life, has been a gift. Christian Church in Pennsylvania, strong beneficiary of of our All Saints Funds ministry, as well as some endowed gifts that we're working to raise, and especially in this year, seeking to stabilize our camp with an endowment. Northeastern region has benefited greatly by the expertise of the Christian Church Foundation in shoring up monies for the long term as we seek to be faithful currently and long into the future. Personally, I'm grateful for the Christian Church Foundation, as my wife Jennifer and I established a permanent fund for our daughter Madison Ann, who passed away, and that legacy of her life continues to live on as monies are sent each year to important ministries in the life of our place. I try and work with the foundation every week in congregations and in our region's institutional life, because I know what a difference this ministry makes. Grateful to God for you. What a great way to serve Christ in the world. God bless you. You really do make a difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Crystal Williams. I'm the Regional Minister and President for the Christian Church Disciples of Christ in Tennessee, and I'm also a member of the Board of Trustees for the Christian Church Foundation. And so I want to start off my comments by saying the Christian Church Foundation is not afraid to tackle the hard issues of both financial and life circumstances. When I think about the Christian Church Foundation and its commitment to integrity, both spiritual and financial, it is second to none, y'all. From the people they choose to manage the funds, to our information given at board meetings about how things are moving financially in the church and even around the world. Secondly, I want to talk about that staff. The staff at the foundation who's committed to integrity, authenticity, they're trustworthy, they're caring. Once you meet that staff, you become a part of the family. That is their level of commitment to board members and even to the church, and even those they serve outside of the church. And then finally, I want to talk to you about the foundation's commitment to equity, equality, and social justice. Yeah, first of all, being a female clergy person of color, and at the very baseline, a child of God, that's important to me. How I am received and how I'm able to share in a context such as the foundation. I remember when the issue with George Floyd came up. Gary Kidwell gave me a call personally on the phone, and we talked through for a long time the issues around George Floyd and even the world. He was calling to make sure that I was okay, to check in. That's a big thing, you all, for a president of a ministry to call a board member to sit down and to discuss and to check to see if I'm well. And so I'm telling you, this integrity, this level of interest, this concern and commitment around equality, justice, and equity, it's in the DNA of the foundation. This is not made up. This is not, oh, let me run out and read a book so that we can slap a stamp on our forehead. These people, this organization cares about how folks, all of us, are maintaining and what our well-being is like in the times in which we live and beyond. It shows up in how folks are approached to serve and to lead within the Christian Church Foundation, how folks are encouraged to share their gifts and talents and their leadership skills on the board, how they bring balance and equity and equality in that process. I know, because I'm on the nominating committee, how folks of all colors, all backgrounds, are able to come and be a part of this wonderful ministry. I want to talk, can we have real talk real fast about the Sarah Lou Bostic Fund, how funds are named and managed. Yes, I'm talking about real stocks and bonds. I'm talking about the dollars. Who gets to sit at the table? Who's going to manage these funds? Are these people equitable? Are these people filled with justice? Who's actually looking at this? And then finally, I want to just say that the foundation is concerned about all, meaning all people. It's in the DNA. And when you think about the Christian Church Foundation and who is a part of that family, both inside the office and outside the office, it's many gifts in one spirit of love. To me, that's the Christian Church Foundation. God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Wilson, and I am the senior pastor of St. Andrew Christian Church in Olathe, Kansas. I'm coming to you today to talk not about St. Andrew Christian Church, but share with you one of the ministries that I've been a part of since 2012, and that's Bethany Fellows. I've been on the board of Bethany Fellows since 2012 and have served for a long time as the board chair and currently serve as the finance chair of that board. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is the relationship that Bethany Fellows has had to the Christian Church Foundation. Almost from the beginning of Bethany Fellows as a ministry, there's been a relationship with the Christian Church Foundation. At its inception, aside from the ongoing support of Bethany Fellows, which was originally a Lilly grant, is that as donations came in to support Bethany Fellows, that money was put into unrestricted Christian Church Foundation accounts. And those were used as kind of support accounts for that ministry. And in 2013, we began looking at a sustainability plan going forward. We knew that at one point the Lilly grant would fall away, and that we would need to be able to be self-sustaining as an organization and not just surviving, but thriving as a ministry. And one of the things that went into our sustainability plan was not only establishing strategies for upholding the annual budget, but looking at long-term financial strategies for permanent funds for Bethany Fellows. And so we had 3 original unrestricted funds with the foundation that helped us early on in that transition from grant to no grant. But as we were sharing Bethany's story, Bethany Fellows' story out with congregations and individuals and other parts of the life of the church, it was interesting how captivated people were by this ministry and the amount of lives it was touching with young clergy in their first call out of seminary. Over time, as we created the sustainability plan, Bethany Fellows and the Christian Church Foundation formalized a restricted permanent fund process. And since that time, we now have 9 restricted Bethany Fellow funds with the Christian Church Foundation, where only the interest comes to support Bethany Fellows. We have 9 funds that have happened in about 5 to 6 years' time. And in addition to that, we now have 6 funds through the Christian Church Foundation that are not exclusively for Bethany Fellows, but Bethany Fellows is one of the named recipients of those particular permanent funds. So right now, when we started, we had some unrestricted funds that supported our budget. We now have 15 permanent funds where the interest supports Bethany Fellows. So at one point, we were using some of those unrestricted funds to bolster the budget. Now our permanent funds are now entering into the ministry life of Bethany Fellows every year. When there is a success story, there is a thriving ministry that's happening in the life of our church, people want to support it. And there needs to be vehicles of support. And so Bethany Fellows is so grateful for the Christian Church Foundation and the partnership we have shared from the very beginning. And now as we establish a long-term in perpetuity plan for Bethany Fellows, Christian Church Foundation has been such a vital part of helping Bethany Fellows be financially stable today, tomorrow, and many, many years to come.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Tinsley, member of First Christian Church, Harrisonville, Missouri. Kirby Gould asked me to say a few words about what our church's permanent funds mean to our ministry here at First Christian. Thanks to a couple of permanent funds, we are able to do ministry even beyond what our regular offerings are. I feel like it's important to tell you, because I like bragging on my church, that we give 11% of every dollar brought in to outreach. Our outreach committee chooses to how that's distributed. Percentage of it goes to Disciples Mission Fund, a percentage goes to our Mid-America region, And then they have a sub budget where they determined line item amounts to go to local ministries that we care about, such as our local ministerial alliance or our local food pantry or other things that they want to be a part of. Because of the way our permanent funds are set up, we have one that's a named fund, so that's restricted money, so it is in a permanent fund by itself. We get distribution of that in the fall. The springtime, we get another distribution from another permanent fund, which everybody can donate to. You can be a part of, we call it a Fellowship of Legacy Gift Builders. So 30% of our distributions twice a year go to outreach. We did not want to keep more for ourselves than we gave away. So 30% gets given away. Just think about that. Think about what you could do if you had found money twice a year. Our larger permanent fund distributes in April. So this is a copy of the May board minutes, and they made a recommendation, and they're 30% of our permanent fund that we get money from in the spring was over $4,600. So they donated to many different causes, including Week of Compassion, because they had basically $4,600 extra dollars to play with. And in the fall, they'll get some more. So what I think that's meant to us is, like, it's fun to give away money, especially when it's just like dropped in your lap by saints, both living and deceased, who have given to a permanent fund to make that ministry possible. So that's what this means to me, and that's what it means to our church. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and congratulations, Christian Church Foundation, for your celebration of 60 years in ministry under the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. That in itself is kudos. My name is Mary Lou Kegler, and I am a trustee with the Black Disciples Endowment Fund. And the BDEF has had a long relationship with Christian Church Foundation. You have our money, you have invested it well. We are very comfortable with you, and we hope that you are comfortable with us. The money that we share with the wider church is because of the activities that Christian Church Foundation has allowed us to gain money for. And we do a lot of grants for different upcoming situations. We are very actively involved with certain areas of the church, like the School of Faith and Life, which is a part of Disciples Home Mission and Black Ministers Retreat. And we now have a new program that we are excited about through Lexington Theological Seminary. I am grateful to be a part and to make this happen for your celebration for 2021. Blessings to you, particularly Gary Kidwell and all of your fine staff, for all the great and marvelous work that you do, and you exemplify what Christ does, what Christ did in his time on earth. Amen.
Hello, I'm Reverend Sally Robinson, and I'm the Director Chaplain of Columbia Area Older Adult Ministry in Columbia, Missouri. In 2005, we were told that Irma Wilson had an account with the Christian Church Foundation, and when she died, the remainder of that came to Columbia Area Older Adult Ministry. So that was our first connection with the Christian Church Foundation. And since then, we have established another account, an older adult ministry account, that we appreciate the foundation taking care of our money and receiving a yearly check from our interest off of that account, as well as the Irma Wilson account. And then last year, we received our largest gift ever from the Raymond and Buna Lansford estate. Their fund, they were residents at Lenore, and I had known them since I had been there. When they were setting up their estate, they gave to causes that were near and dear to the heart. So we're letting it sit there to build up interest And hopefully in a couple of years, we can start receiving the income off of that endowment, which helps support our budget. I just appreciate what the foundation does for the Christian Church Disciples of Christ as a whole, and for Columbia Area Older Adult Ministry in particular. So thank you.
Working with the foundation has impacted the life and ministry of both Webster Groves Christian Church in St. Louis and the region of Mid-America. Webster Groves started a permanent fund in the early 1990s and invested the single gift in a local bank. In 1995, the trustees created an investment with the Christian Church Foundation, starting with a grand total of $5,000. In 2015, after 20 years with the foundation, gifts to the permanent fund totaled more than $1 million. A total of $638,000 was withdrawn and used for mission and ministry, leaving almost $1.3 million still in the fund, thanks to smart investing by the foundation. In recent years, we've drawn about $60,000 each year for our budgeted mission and ministry, and our total investment balance has grown to more than $1.5 million. The foundation encouraged us to draw no more than 5 to 6% of the fund each year. That way, investment returns provide ample income for ministry while the fund continues to grow. The stated purpose of the Christian Church Foundation is to make distributions that produce dollars for ministry. That's exactly what we've experienced at Webster Groves Christian Church. Our relationship with the foundation is a cherished one. Even during the pandemic year, as we worshiped by Zoom, our congregation's mission and ministry support remained strong thanks to the investments. I am treasurer of the Mid-America region, which consists of more than 130 congregations, most of them pretty small, in Missouri and part of Southern Illinois. We too have a strong partnership with the foundation, where we've invested funds from the sale of our campground in mid-Missouri a few years ago when we were losing money hand over fist. The invested sale proceeds now underwrite camp scholarships as well as leadership development programs. We believe that working with the foundation has had an extremely positive impact on the life and ministries of both Webster Groves and the Mid-America region.
The First Christian Church of San Bernardino, California was established in 1868, over 150 years ago. Norm pastored there for 26 years. It continues to be close to our hearts as we still can serve as elders and are active in the fellowship groups. In 2009, the congregation had a 25-40 celebration, celebrating 25 years of Norm's ministry there and 40 years of ordination. A fund was established at the foundation in his honor. That fund continues and will continue to benefit First Christian Church. While it embarrasses Norm a little bit, I wanted to name the fund the Reverend Dr. Colonel Norman L. Williams, because he's leaving a legacy not only as a pastor and a lifelong learner, but as a chaplain in the Air National Guard, which we both participated in through his many deployments.
When we were preparing our trust, we wanted our legacy to reflect our love for our children and for our grandchildren, but also for our church. And so a significant portion of our estate goes to the Christian Church Foundation to benefit our preferred ministries when we pass. Ministries that we support now, but once we're gone, we'll lose that support. However, through our gifts to the Christian Church Foundation, those ministries will continue to have our support.
Life eternal for our donations.
She had to get that in.
Other individuals and congregations have done similar things with their resources. When they're ending their, individuals, when they're thinking about their life passing on, or churches and congregations, sometimes their visual ministries end, but by giving to the Christian Church Foundation, those ministries can continue. Currently, the Pacific Southwest region receives over $500,000 in investment incomes from those individuals and congregations who wanted to see their ministries continue into the future. Sometimes they've designated it for outdoor ministries or new church development or transformation or reconciliation. There's a variety of monies that come in that benefits all the ministries in the Pacific Southwest region. The Christian Church Foundation offers many ways for your contributions to ministries. You can establish a charitable remainder trust or a gift annuity. You can establish a permanent fund like we did, or there's stewards Donor Advised Fund. I advise you to contact the Christian Church Foundation and see how your resources that you've accumulated in your life currently and in the future can benefit those ministries that you care about and that are close to your heart.
Hi, this is Marilyn Fidmont, Vice President with Christian Church Foundation. It is my privilege to serve the Southwest Zone and the Northeastern region. I want to take the opportunity to thank you for our continued ministry together and for allowing me to be part of your ministries, your congregations, and our donors, and we are grateful to serve together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't wait.
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 We can't wait to see what the future holds.
We've been here serving you for the last 60 years. We'll be here for the next 60 years and the next 600 years. Committed to helping you make a difference in the world. Thank you for your mission and for your ministry. We're honored to be your partner.